It is I, not Three Dog, because that's copyrighted. Sneaky Devil, and I bring you Max Horse and Atin here at Fanfiction Theater 9002. Episode 60 something or other. 60 something. What episode are we at? 67.
Why are there so many of these? Oh yeah, because you jackasses were like, what if we do this bi-weekly?
What if we just do this bi-weekly?
What if I just stabbed myself in the foot twice a week?
I mean, hey, eventually you'll just have a hole that you can stab through with no injury.
Alright, calm down there, Jesus.
The real reason as to why Jesus has holes in his hands. The Romans can't crucify me if I crucify myself!
I mean, technically, if he'd actually had his hands, like, punctured like that, it would have made it incredibly difficult to crucify him.
You can't tell me what to do, Dad. I want to get my hand pierced.
Sudden, that's a really bad idea.
Alright, well, let's get started. Alright, so, we got Arn here today, so where's that Harry Potter fic I wanted to do when he was here? Oh, yeah, here we go.
Was it Riddle of the Ages?
Oh, that too.
Oh god, you found a different one.
Oh, shit, I did.
Oh god.
Oh, this one's good too. Oh, Oh, wait, we already covered this one. This one's garbage.
Which one is it?
Lightning, Dragons, Roar, the...
Oh, yeah.
Harry Potter, Fairy Tale, Game of Thrones crossover.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. Arn is no longer a subscriber. I am... Oh, there you go. Zippity zoop. He fixed that.
That is weird. It goes from subscriber to nothing back to subscriber.
Speed demon.
That's just weird.
His eyes honed in on the unsubscribe symbol.
I'm not gonna lie, because of that, I legit thought that was another person that entered the chat.
You were so excited that we had two people?
No, it's just like, oh hey, we got a new guy because he's not subscribed. Oh wait, that's Arn.
We have a new lad. Uh-oh.
See, now that would actually really make me happy, is that we could tell who was new by who wasn't subscribed. That would actually make me very happy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Arn apparently managed to confuse himself, I guess.
Arn literally did the Spider-Man meme. Who's that guy posting what I said? Wait.
I should kill him.
Old Spider-Man stuff is just so charming sometimes.
Old Spider-Man had so many problems.
Oh my god.
Yes,
fucking 80s Spider-Man. My entire dorm back in freshman year, we all sat down and watched like 5 hours of 80s Spider-Man.
That had to have been all of it.
Yeah.
That had to have.
And then we watched Starship Troopers 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, it had to cleanse the palate, I see.
Yeah, let's go with that.
I still have never even seen 2 and 3. I always forget they exist because I've just never seen them. Because Starship Troopers 1 is actually so well contained.
3 was a miss. 3 is definitely a miss. Or was it 2 that was a miss? Was that Starship Troopers 4 that was a miss? I think it's 4 that's a miss. Anyway, one of them has like basically an aliens scenario. Alien meets Thing, basically, because it's a lone trooper base in the middle of fuck all, and over time people are getting like invaded by mind controlled bugs, and then when it gets revealed, like the gestated mind control bug bursts out of the person, turns into a bigger bug. It was fucking stupid.
Well, okay then.
Anyway, so this is Legacy Preservation, which I'm sure everyone here can put two and two together and understand where this is going.
Nowhere good, that's for sure.
Yes. Factual statement, but not what I was going for. Just wanted to make sure everyone is reminded. The Legacy Preservation Act. Do not contact the author, as Twitch does not like it when you do that. Last heirs of noble bloodlines are forced to marry in order to prevent wizards from becoming extinct, thanks to a new law passed by the Ministry in order to distract the public from listening to Dumbledore's warnings of return. Rated M. So, once again, if you are easily offended, do not read this. See, now, there's multiple ways to take that statement. On one hand, you could be like, oh, well, there's sex in my story, so if you're offended by that, then don't read this. And on response to that, I tell you, that's illegal. So, you actually don't have any high ground here, sir. I have the high ground. And as we all know, Star Wars taught us that the high ground is the more important thing.
Indeed.
All he had to do was not jump.
Sounds great. Here's your government-mandated waifu. Godspeed. Repopulate the Earth, weeb. Anyway, so this is a drama story, which means it's going to be garbage. Harry times Daphne. Oh boy. I love Harry times a barely fleshed out character that so many people abuse and morph into their own little idea. And Neville times Tracy. Okay. Alright, yeah, let's go. Chapter 1. The main courtroom of the Wizgamut was stadium-like in nature. No, it's not. With each higher circle going back to allow for seating. What you're thinking of is not stadium-like, but opera house or sanatorium. Is that what I'm thinking?
I mean,
sanatorium.
It is called stadium these days because of what happens.
Okay, fair enough. The main floor was empty, but could have chairs brought in. What? But no, you don't. Okay, fine. Though most preferred it to be empty, so they could move about as they spoke and addressed the assembled. Because chairs would prevent that because you pack them in like sardines? Can't you just like magic more space up? That's the thing. Oh, whatever. And there was very little light in the courtroom. No, actually, there was a fair decent amount of light in the courtroom. And what there was focused upon the floor and whomever was speaking, effectively keeping the governing body in shadow. It's a very edgy way to put it, and also actually AU, as neither in the books, or the movies, or the play was the Wizengamot ever portrayed like that, as far as my knowledge goes. Now, to be fair, it has been only an entire fucking decade, so I might be a little outdated on that. Max, you've never seen any, but Atin, you saw the last movies, right?
Which ones?
The Deathly Hallows.
The most recent thing I watched was the ones with Grindelwald, because I was I watched them because they were in my video store and they were, by a slim margin, better than the ad roll for the 83rd time.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Anyway, so now that the author's got the edgy government doing shady things in the dark trope and poorly explained metaphor out, we can move on to the highly dramatic, stylized version of government that the author believes works.
Yay!
The focal point of the round courtroom, it was never established that it was round, but it is now, was a podium. Actually, the courtroom is also square, as you can tell. Square shape. It was a podium set on the first level above where the floor chief warlock would usually sit. Wait, so I'm having actual trouble imagining this. So I'm gonna do I'm gonna break out the paint skills so we can all follow along.
Oh boy, it's been a while.
It's been a while since I've had to break out the graph.
Should I get the calculator ready?
Yes. Alright, we can get rid of this. We don't need any of this shit. Go away. Alright. So I'm going to do a 2D representation of what they've described so far. So we got our floor here. And our floor is going to be a nice, thick black. And so far they've described several tiers. So what we're going to do is going to shrink this brush down a little bit. And so we got our top tier. We got our second tier. And we got our third tier of people. And apparently there's a podium here that's actually set above the floor as well. But even though there's tiers of seating, and people also sit on the floor, you know, we got our podium here, and but people also sit on the floor. Got our person here. The chief warlock is actually below the. There's a podium on the first level above the floor. So, is the podium up on here? Or is the podium raised off of the floor? Because it says the first level. So either the first level is the floor, but it says it's above the floor.
Oh boy.
Is it floating?
Don't ask me.
Yes. Well.
Art in the making. Yeah, you know, I took art classes in first grade.
That's that's mean.
Anyway, so we got our podium here, and okay, so we gotta erase the floor actually, because we're gonna do Chief Warlock is gonna be over here, right? So apparently we're gonna mark this as podium. I don't know why I added an R there. There, P for podium, because apparently the podium's raised, and I guess the Chief Warlock sits here, and then below the Chief Warlock, which even though he's on the floor, so they actually dig into the floor a bit.
I'll be back in a minute.
They dig
I
into
need
the
to keep
floor a bit so they can have 2 scribes down here.
Yeah.
And I'll mark that with an SS. And okay, and then the rest of the room was filled with box seats. Wait. So if there's multiple tiers for people to view from.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that they're concentric rings. Like
Yeah,
literally the
I'm
opposite
assuming
of how
that.
you've got it written.
What do you mean?
Drawn.
No, they said there was multiple tiers with each higher than the last that people could view from.
Yeah, but it's stadium-like. Have you not looked at a stadium in the last 3 years? Never turned on to see a football game or something?
Yeah, it's a giant circle with tiering.
Yeah, look at how you've got your tiers drawn.
What's wrong with my what's
Look
wrong
at
with my tiers? What is wrong with my drawing, Max? I don't think it could be any more clear.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking at it, it's like, it looks like someone just stacked a floating wedding cake in there.
So anyway, there's just so not only is there chairs able to be put here, but apparently box seats just take up the space as well. They're just everywhere. Box seats are just everywhere that isn't the podium, but also the floor is clear, but also we can put chairs there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the author's trying to accomplish with all this.
No, from the movies, the actual Wizengamot chamber has concentric rings around the center floor. Alright, so let's actually look that up. Let's see if we can't. Okay, well, the only image we have of that's not too good of an image. Let's see. Oh, here we go. That's a very small image. This is a better image. Okay. Open image address.
Oh, that is way smaller than I thought.
Okay, so
It's all so... Wait.
this is bad. I see. I always pictured it more of like a courtroom, right? A squarish courtroom. This is a courtroom. Keep in mind, and then they add actual like senatorium chambers, sort of like the Parliament or Senate.
Yeah,
But so I
It's
guess they were trying to describe this room. This room is not a circle though, and it does not have tiers.
This room is an ugly ass octagon, is what it is.
It's not. It's not a circle.
Ah, good. We went for a real picture finally.
Well, yeah.
No, that is.
And are you telling me that you can't tell that this is the exact same thing as this? Come on. They're basically the same image.
No, okay, look, I in my oddly accented defense, I was never very good at art, and when everyone else was like, "Oh, we're gonna go to the art museum in Chicago," I was like, "Fucking boring." But the Museum of Science and Industry has a video game exhibit.
Yeah, maybe.
Actually, that one was pretty cool because they partnered with the arcade museum.
Yeah, they do have tiered. That is tiered seating.
Yes, that is tiered.
But
yes,
it looks like a
However,
really
I was gonna say
small. It looks like a really small gym.
Okay,
at a high school.
But the thing
I was saying, let's be clear though, that seating is tiered only so that the people higher up can see over the fucking heads.
Yeah, but the way the way I'm gonna copy this image and we'll
Here's the thing: the author is taking this image and exaggerating it to 40K-esque proportions of an inquisitorial chamber.
Yes,
they're saying
actually,
the light
because,
is dark.
Yeah, well, I'm actually going to set the scene here. So this is the author's idea, but this is what the author was trying to describe, but he was doing it exceedingly poorly. But we also have to add his dramatic embellishments to the scene. Okay, so let's get some of that black lighting in, so we can't see the shady government doing shady things.
Here's the thing. It would technically be possible for the Wizengamot to look like this person is describing if they lowered the lights a lot. Actually, what they'd have to do is they'd have to have almost no lighting on. They'd have to have little to no lighting on the actual stands itself, and there would have to be essentially a 100, no, more like a 300-watt spotlight on the center.
Yes, like this.
Pretty much, actually. Although even the stairs wouldn't be visible.
This is basically how the author is describing this scene. Hey, hold on, that was a bit too much. There we go.
Look, if I wanted to torture myself, I'd go back to playing Fire Emblem on maddening mode.
Harry Potter, you've come here. It's so fucking dumb the way they're trying to set the scene, because not only have they poorly described as this is a circular room, because it isn't, they've also said it's like tiered seating that vast number of people can sit in, which they can't, and that it's super dark. I mean, like, yeah, it's not exactly hyper bright, but you can clearly see everyone. You can clearly see everything they're doing. That nothing is shaded, nothing is hidden, and there's no podium here either. There's a podium here, but that's not a position that people can occupy to speak from. That is a position reserved solely for one person.
Yeah, that's not central either. So,
well, it's relatively central. I'll give them that. It is relatively central.
Yes, but it's still not a podium people can speak from. Only one person is allowed there. None of these people will ever sit in this seat while they are part of the Wizengamot and not the Minister of Magic. Call it a day at Hogwarts. I mean, you guys are getting learned. This is why it's important to figure out how you're going to describe an area, and if it's important that you describe this area. If you, being a Harry Potter fan, say, are reading a story, and the person goes, and this is taking place in the Wizengamot chambers, and people filled the seats, and the podium had the Minister of Magic in it, and Harry was in the center of the room, that lets the people just build their own idea of what this chamber looks like. And then you don't have to worry about sounding like a dumbass with how you describe it. Fucking hate fanfiction authors sometimes. And I was doing so good at not cursing this.
You were. We might have gotten the clean rating. I mean, that'll never actually happen.
Oh, God. Anyway. So, scribes are apparently sitting inside the ground. Because gotta keep in mind, the author had set the scene that the podium is above the Chief Warlock, which doesn't make sense, as the Chief Warlock is supposed to be administering the meeting, and you never have the person speaking above the person that's administering, but ignoring that. So the podium's above the Chief Warlock, and the Warlock is on the floor, and the scribes are below him. So the scribes are in the ground. Higher up, okay. Oh, we gotta add more to this painting. So above above everyone else, I guess, because higher up. So these are the press only section. So we're just gonna make some black peas for the press only. So apparently the press are above everything else that's been described previously, because the author still has yet to set any sort of distances for anything. Beyond that, the scribes are in the ground, the podium floats above the chief warlock, and it's a circle with tiered seating. But the tiers are actually levels. And we can, for some reason, put chairs in the main floor, but also there's box seats everywhere when there isn't tiered seating or open floor. Pay no attention to the author's inability to spatially manage anything.
Spatially manage?
Sure.
Are you
Anyway.
already buzzed?
I know. I'm gonna fix that though.
Oh boy.
Moonshine, here I go. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's strong.
No, moonshine? Strong? No.
Woo!
No.
That burns. That's like fucking rubbing alcohol. Jesus Christ. Oh.
Has it ever occurred to you that there's a reason people warn you about what, like, purity moonshine you buy?
What about warnings about moonshine?
There were, I remember growing up, like, if you ever decide to drink moonshine, make sure you get it from somewhere trusted, because you might buy the kind that kills you.
Oh yeah, bark moonshine,
Because
yeah.
people that make moonshine do not fuck around.
No, they don't, no. Sneaky
all.
audibly drinks alcohol. Yes. Anyway, so higher up were seats for the press and anyone who wished to observe the session. So, wait. So let me get this straight. Okay, so we're gonna make a new image. We're gonna do this again. So, you have your floor, and you have a podium that people talk from, and below that is Albus Dumbledore. And there's a person here too. And below Albus Dumbledore, there are scribing things in the floor.
Scribes are scribing things.
Yep. So in this floor, and then so we then have tiered seating. So we have a main area, I guess. So we're just gonna wall this area off, I suppose, or something. So this is the main area where there's nothing. And then we have tiered seating, in which the seats are higher each time. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And on top of this, we also have box seats for the Wizengamot that are just places. We have tiered seating for the Wizengamot, but we also have box seats for the Wizengamot. And then above the box seats is press and the people?
It would appear.
So then why can chairs be brought into the main floor? Why is that even, why does that even need to be mentioned? Like, if we have box seats for the Wizengamot, and we have tiers for the Wizengamot, and the scribes are trapped inside the floor partially, and Albus Dumbledore bumbles around on the main floor with no seat, and there's just this random fucking podium in the center of it all that someone talks from whenever they want to talk. Why can chairs also be added to the main floor? Like, what? Why is this important? Author, speak your secrets!
C8, I want you to know I hate you, but thank you for my new, like, time killer at work. I hate Twitter. I know it
Trying
is.
to draw the horrible hour. Oh yeah, I am currently trying to draw the scene that the author is describing because what he's describing is just so dumb. Also, oh god, that's terrible. The C8 that haunts me now.
Don't click on the
It's
Twitter
not good.
itself. It gets worse.
Oh no, Hello
There's
Kitty.
so much here. Some of these are like, yeah, no, I get it. That's a viable fix. Others are like, why though? Oh my god.
Also,
Oh my
we
god.
are actually forgetting a key thing here. We totally forgot the most important cringe of this is where is it? How do I bring my tool back to do the whole color selection thing?
What are you trying to bring? What the why?
I exited out of colors and I don't know how to get colors back.
Good fucking job.
I'm really good at this, guys. Here we go. Okay.
Alright, you got your colors back?
Got my colors back. Alright.
Alright.
So, we're actually forgetting a very key part of this. Is that the author mentioned that the everything but the podium was shaded in black. So no one can see what the shady government's doing.
Okay.
Alright, so that this is our current image as we have established it. Alright. So, today, those seats seemed especially full, and this made Albus Dumbledore slightly confused as he made his way to the podium where he would preside over the session as Chief Warlock. In the center of the room as the spectacle? Why would... Was he the ringmaster? Like, the podium is typically for the place that, supplicants would talk at, not for administration of the session. Okay, he intended to make the wizarding world aware of the looming threat that Lord Voldemort had returned after 14 years of silence. Dumbledore had asked all the members of the Order of Phoenix who could attend to do so, and to bring anyone who they thought would listen. The more people he could convince, the more he could press the Minister of Magic to act against the threat that even now was building an army against them all. When he took his customary seat, apparently there's a seat at the podium?
What?
I mean, I know occasionally podiums will have seats beside them.
Okay. Let us update
Jesus, no.
the podium. Alright, well, apparently the podium needs a seat. Because, yeah. Alright, so let's get colors back. Let's draw ourselves a seat at this podium. There, Albus Dumbledore now has a podium seat that kind of is attached to the podium. Because remember, the podium is raised above the floor, and Albus Dumbledore is on the floor. Nope, I can't read this trash. Goodbye.
Get back here!
Get back here, kitty. When he took his customary seat, Dumbledore called the court to order. He was a tall, thin, elderly wizard with long silver hair and a long silver beard. Imagine describing Albus Dumbledore to someone who's read 5 books of Harry Potter.
But why?
It's like, oh, wow. Thank you, author, for telling us what Albus Dumbledore looks like after reading 5 books of Harry Potter. Because we totally didn't know what he looked like before now, because we've never read the books or saw the movies before, reading the story. Being that he's only Albus fucking Dumbledore. Now, describing Susan Bones, some people might be like, who the hell is Susan Bones? And that's understandable. And someone might be like, who's, Lavender Brown? Understandable. But, describing Albus Dumbledore, that's like describing Harry Potter or describing Naruto. It's like, I think if you're reading this section of fanfiction, you have some idea what these characters look like. Being that they're kind of important.
Oh God! I need to get off his Twitter. This is.
Why are you on Twitter?
Stop. Max silently suffering in the background.
Stop. Oh, you don't understand. There's a cobra.
Stop.
There's a cobra.
Stop.
Oh God.
Stop.
Cursed PC.
Anyway.
Boy, that is an accurate Twitter handle.
He wore half-moon spectacles and blah blah, his twinkling blue eyes. Max,
stop posting these.
Oh, is Max posting them now too? WinRAR beer. Well, why is there a snake inside your PC?
I don't know. It is not happy, though. It is not happy with the humans trying to get it out.
See, that's the part where you just take the other side, the side of the PC that you've taken off, you just bang the snake over the side of the head with it. Just like, fucking no.
Yeah.
Easier to handle Snake when Snake has a concussion.
True fact.
When everyone took their seats and silence finally reigned, Dumbledore fixed them with a very serious look of worry. Okay, so I am not a person who can say they are capable of picking up social signals from other people. I think we can all heartily agree to that here, yeah? Yeah?
I suppose, yes.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to have to ask you guys then. At what point does a look someone's giving you lose effectiveness? And, at what range can you no longer, make out the look on someone's face?
Probably 50 feet, I'd say.
50 feet, really? Okay. So I guess the entire audience can now see Dumbledore's very worried face look. He tried to body language the signs that had been there for 2 years. An interpretive dance, the clues, the strange coincidences. But when all put together, they were pointing to danger on the horizon. There would be protests against him, Dumbledore knew. No one wanted dark times to return. And in the courtroom, loyal to Lord Voldemort, would wish to keep the master's return for secret as long as possible. But if Dumbledore could make those who didn't know what awaited them, perhaps he could force the minister to see reason on. Again, this is something I never really understood. I guess this is just a British culture thing or something? I don't know. But if say the Speaker of the House, right, American time, So Speaker of the House gets up, walks up to the podium, goes, "I would like to open the session today, and before we begin anything else, I would like to bring forward a point of a return of a terrorist group that was previously responsible for several mass killings and genocides of several states." Would anyone be like, "Boo, hiss, they're not back"? Would people ignoring partisanship, obviously? Would people really rebel against that?
I suppose they might.
Anyone else?
If they were stupid.
You have like
Like,
two other
I'm
people
sorry,
here?
I had to have a conversation with my dad. So, if there's rebelling happening, at least one person's gonna try.
I mean, I
Well,
suppose
Snake
that's
and-
true.
There's always got to be that one dickhead in a group.
But I just don't feel like if someone was like, "Yo, look, I'm a highly respected war veteran, and I am in several positions of power, and I come before you today to inform you that an enemy I tried desperately to defeat in the previous war that saw half of our population killed is back, and we need to prepare for him coming and regaining the power he once had again." I mean, I know there would be a few people that'd be like, "No, he's not back. You're just trying to grab for power." But
yeah,
like,
there's gonna be the ones that are going
stupid,
to be just straight
as
up.
we discussed.
yeah, just
stupid.
generally stupid. But like, everyone, like, J.K. Rowling's built Dumbledore up to the point where basically everyone respects him, and everyone's awed by him, and they're like, "Wow,
I would just say,
you're
even
so amazing."
even the horrible terrorist racists are like, look, Dumbledore's an idiot, but he is Dumbledore. He's a very
Albus
powerful
Dumbledore.
idiot.
Yeah, and like it, you know, if Dumbledore comes out and it's just like, "Yo, look, Voldemort's back. He apparently created some sort of ritual that, let him bring himself back to life after human sacrifices." I'm pretty sure normal people, again, this is not J.K. Rowling verse where everyone's just like mentally deranged. But like, I'm fairly certain normal people will be like, "Ah, yes, the very powerful and politically astute and socially amazing person who previously fought this man and doesn't have an evil bone in his body is saying that the evil guy is back because he did rituals of human sacrifice to resurrect himself." Okay, yeah, sure. Like, I would believe that.
That individual is probably telling
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah, in fact, the weirder part about this is they're all fucking wizards, so they know this kind of stuff, while forbidden, is possible.
Yeah. It would be like, I don't know. It would be like the equivalent of, like, in America, some guy who served in World War One, World War Two, and then became the president, comes out and is like, "Yo, guys," okay, maybe not the president, Speaker of the House again, or Speaker of Senate or whatever, some high level position in the government, and he's also like the headmaster of Harvard, and he comes out and he's like, "Yo, guys, freaking the Fourth Reich is coming, and Hitler is back." Yes, some people will be like, "Okay, well, that's a little bit much." But Hitler never died, guys. That was just a body that the Soviets said was Hitler. It's like, okay, well, you're a bit old,
Yeah,
but
at that
I mean,
point,
that
I'd be like,
sounds-
well, the Soviets did lie about a lot of stuff during that time.
it's
That
like,
definitely
well,
sounds like something DC would write.
I
It's fucking.
I bet you there's a 90s or 80s comic.
Oh no,
somewhere
there is
that happened.
Superman Apocalypse. Do you not know about that?
no.
No,
There's
thought
3
Superman-
clones of Hitler
no,
in the
I'm-
Apocalypse.
I'm thinking of Superman Doomsday.
Yeah, you're thinking of Superman.
Yes, you are.
That's what I. No, I did not know about Apocalypse.
Basically,
What
Superman
the
is
fuck?
super old. No, I need to
Cease
explain
the
this.
shit posting of these cursed PC images. God. Fuck this
Okay.
last guy in particular.
So as it turns out, Superman Apocalypse is quite literally Superman is super old. His like kids or whatever are like helping him defeat evil, and he tries to fight the Fourth Reich, who have gotten 3 clones of Hitler and made them into demons.
We're not even kidding.
No, we're not.
What?
No, we're not talking
I
about
wish
clone
I was
Hitler.
kidding.
We're talking about Hitler never died.
Yeah.
Oh well, he
Way-
technically never
way
died.
to
They just
lose the
cloned-
thread.
Oh no, he technically never died.
Literally,
But
the point of all this was to point out that J.K. Rowling built a character up to be in a position of political, economic, social, and educational juggernaut here, and everyone's supposed to be in awe of this lad. And when he comes out and says, "Hey guys, that terrorist that I was trying really hard to fight did some super evil, nasty rituals and killed a shit ton of people to resurrect himself, and now he's back and we have to fight him again." I am fairly certain everyone but Cletus, the guy fucking his goat in his backyard, is going to be like, "Yeah, sir, Mr. Dumbledore, sir, let's go stop the bad guy again."
Except
I
for the
think
ones
Cletus
that are
would-
still bad guys, at which point one could reasonably go, didn't you work for the terrorists last time?
No, I don't know
That's
what you're talking
probably
about.
the weirdest part, like going to book 1 and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we know that these guys worked for the Death Eaters. Wait,
You want to do anything about it?
why are they still walking around trusted with their positions?
Oh, well, don't you know they got,
Tradition! What do you mean?
magical mind control?
I thought tradition was to wipe their minds and throw them in a cell for the rest of their natural lives.
One
Well,
would think.
see-
One would think.
Well, see, they tried to do that, but then the American Association, especially the one in California, whined about it.
No, let's be honest here. In the 90s, California would have also been saying, why don't we just use a bullet? It's cheap.
Nah, you don't. You're not supposed to mind wipe them. Use a bullet.
That's the same thing, but cheaper. Wait a second.
But that's a Muggle weapon. Oh, really? What killed the magical Hitler of our time? The Muggle weapon?
He got shot in the dome.
But seriously,
That's not
the
particularly
Soviets
thing-
lied
thing-
about a
things
lot
that
of
would've-
shit.
Things that would have made the 7th movie that much better.
Hitler's
Vo-
back, yo.
No, Voldemort getting fucking domed.
I mean, yeah.
Where's that fucking Halo Harry Potter thing
Oh.
that I saw once?
Anyway, back to
No.
this garbage. So,
It really is worth thinking about that
everyone,
stuff
I'm very
nowadays.
sad to announce that Voldemort's back, and then suddenly the doors exploded open and the FBI rushed in.
Everybody on the ground! You're wanted for child touching.
Everybody in this room is wanted for child.
I like that.
We're
Atten
actually
had
fairly impressed.
well, no, I like that Atten took a moment to think about what to say. It's like the police officer's clearly reaching in this example.
Reaching
Yes,
like
because they're
Dumbledore did!
Sneaky, Max, they're the FBI breaking into the British Wizard Parliament. They're not actually there to arrest anyone.
Magical British Wizard Parliament.
Magical British wizards.
Oh,
Where the
boy.
fuck did you guys come from? We're the FBI. We're where we need to be.
Actually, technically, where we are, wherever the U.S. president says we need
It's
to be.
actually
And
even
he says
worse.
we need to be running England.
It's actually even worse because the FBI doesn't leave U.S. borders. That's the CIA.
I know.
No,
Well, no,
So-
Sneaky.
no,
Sneaky.
okay.
Let's be clear here. The
No.
FBI doesn't leave U.S. borders.
Yes, there's air quotes around that entire statement. We know.
Well, no. Here's how
Just-
here's how you fix the situation. This isn't American soil. Actually, it is. We bought this 50 years ago. You're trespassing.
Actually, your prince just married an American, which makes this American soil. Reverse
That's not how it works.
colonization,
Oh, it
bitch!
is now.
It is now. Well, you want to know why it works? It's because we have oil, isn't it?
It's like we
I'm from
literally just signed a
Ireland.
law 3
Did you
hours
say
ago.
Oiland?
No, mate. We said
Wait, what was that, Max?
I'm sorry. Atin's joke caught me off guard. I don't even know what. I don't even remember what I was saying.
FBI.
Something like we
gives
literally
Harry
just
the
signed a law 3 hours ago.
Oh, Trump signed an executive order. Britain now belongs to the U.S.
Just hands it to Dumbledore. Well, this checks out. Can't do anything about it, kids.
But Mr. Dumbledore, sir, isn't this against the rules? Look, when you have a giant,
When you have as many missiles as America, you can make the rules, young Harry. Until then, shut the fuck up.
Anyway, so yeah,
isn't that completely
let's
against the law,
add
Mr.
the
Dumbledore?
FBI to this
That's
image.
a quote that I want to use somewhere now. When you have as many missiles as blank country.
When you have as many missiles as
When
Gandhi,
you've
you're
lost
allowed
as
to do
many
whatever you
missiles
want.
as Russia.
Lost, as if they aren't all already pointed at America.
No,
they're all
Russia.
they're
No,
all
Russia
secretly pointed at-
legitimately lost like a decent portion of their nuclear arsenal. They
No,
don't know where
I
it
know
is.
they did
It's
actually lose
gone.
them, but
I
It's more
still
funny
remember
to-
the time. I forget which company it was, but one of the news agencies, one of the journalists for them, was like legitimately like, "Wait, is there anything to this rumor that you can just buy a nuke in Ukraine?" And so he goes out, he films the entire thing, and he shows up to the arms dealer, and the guy's like, "Yeah, so here's the nuclear warhead." And the guy's like,
I'm
"Fucking
surprised-
wait, what?"
Surprised they let him walk in there with a camera.
No, it was a jacket camera.
Oh.
Huh.
I'm surprised they didn't notice the jacket camera.
It's Ukraine.
Fair enough.
also
was
you can
probably
get
drunk.
them like in a pen, dude.
Yeah, but
And those, bear in mind, those are the crappy versions available to civilians. If this dude knew anybody in the FBI, he could have bought like a surplus one for like a surplus FBI issue, like nigh invisible pocket camera for I don't know, a few $1,000.
yeah. But anyway, so the FBI kicks the door down, preventing Dumbledore from telling them about Voldemort. And let me just, all right, let me do my art skills. Okay, and
Oh
then
boy.
all right, and then we do the big triangle for the right. That's a AR-15 that the FBI is using one-handed to kick kick the door down and prevent Dumbledore from speaking.
I
mean, you actually can one-hand an AR-15 because it's only shooting 22s. Unless
Why
you
would you though?
up calibered it.
Sneaky, with enough training, you can one hand nearly any weapon. We have seen Americans dual wield 50 calibers and
Yes,
fire stably.
yes, we have. The American blood runs strong.
The American is strong in this one.
Gun skill 100. Dual wielding unlocked.
I know dear hearts and gentle people. Just hear that like off in the background somewhere. Just fucking. What is that noise?
Fucking American. Anyway.
It's like the fucking. What was the scene? It's like the Iron Man scene where he's just like starting to power up.
Everything
where
is
he's, like,
just
walking on
spiraled downhill.
Yes. He just like shows up out of the camera.
Fellow witches and wizards, forgive the intrusion and my interruption of your very important broadcast. For I wish to tell everyone that I'm forcing
I
your
can't
children.
tell if you're trying to do a Nixon or not. Like sometimes you're picking it up. That is not. Jesus Christ.
Eddie's Brannigan.
I'm glad Sneaky's so entertained by that.
I've spent many days practicing my jowl movements.
No one knows why he's been practicing them, because he's terrible at them.
For this exact moment.
That's
It was
that's
all
sad.
leading up to this moment.
Mother always said I had a face for radio.
That you do, boy. That you do.
Anyway, I wish to address this grand body today to tell you all grand news. I am forcing your children to fuck.
I like how it's just gone quiet. Just everyone's
Just
what?
silent.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull up the relevant quote here, Sneaky.
Is this from my immortal?
Keep going.
Okay. Is there no objections to hear what the minister has to say? This morning, my undersecretary sent each of you a package with very important and disturbing material. It's Dumbledore's porn stash. If you have already viewed this
Umbridge starts
information,
sweating profusely.
then I expect you are heartsick and outraged. It
Sneaky,
is sad.
I've left the relevant link in memes and shitposts.
It is my sad, sad duty to inform you all that wizards have been officially put on the endangered species list by the World Health Organization.
Shinzo Abe, stop trying to make people have sex.
Someone needs to draw Minister Fudge and Shinzo Abe doing the handshake grip meme with the word forcing people to have sex in the center of it.
I'm gonna be rude with you, Shinzo Abe. This is a good increase in Japanese population numbers.
Dimitri, kill every last one of them.
Kill every last one of them.
Okay.
Now, when you said kill every single one of them, did you mean all of them or all of them?
All of them.
I see. Right. Someone get the exterminator on the phone. Because we're killing all the younglings.
No, not just the younglings. Not just the younglings.
The women and children
Every
too.
last one of them. The women, the children, the men, the dogs, the birds, the cats, the mosquitoes, especially the mosquitoes.
Oh, hey, tension. I'll catch you up to speed. So this is the picture that I've drawn to set the scene.
Oh, Jesus.
Let me just get rid of the FBI agent and his one-handed AR-15. Alright, so we have Dumbledore on the podium with a spotlight from nowhere that apparently also only begins right above the podium because literally the entire rest of the chambers is shrouded in shadow and darkness, so you can't see how shady the rest of the government is. It's called a metaphor.
It's a really stupid
I
fucking
thought it was called
metaphor.
shit writing.
And there's also tiered seating, but there's also box seats on top of the tiered seating, and then above the box seats is the press. Thank you. I appreciate you appreciating my drawing. This is actually version 2.
Oh, yeah, you got shot in version 1.
This was version 1. As you can see, version 2 vastly increased in skill level.
I wouldn't say vastly.
I don't know. I think it's a pretty big increase.
I mean, it's better in the way that if I only half stepped in a pile of shit, as opposed to fully stepping in a pile of shit.
That's good. Similar.
Analogy?
Yes. There we go. Words.
I believe that you can speak words.
No, I can't.
I said I believe, not that you actually can.
Mummers began, and Fudge allowed it to carry on. Yes, I know, he began to pace like a caged lion. Our population numbers are dwindling, my friends. In the last 50 years alone, we have seen no less than 50 noble bloodlines wiped out forever. All of them were victims of war, so clearly what we need to do is start another war.
That's not how that works.
Fudge, no! Fudge, yes!
But there is more. If the statistics that I invented and sent to you proves true as I believe it to be,
Did he just say that he invented the statistics?
no. There is also a significant, that's fake news, you're arrested for hate speech. There is also a significant decline in the powers of magicals, because we fate-verse now. The birth rate of squibs is increasing with every generation. Has anyone ever considered that maybe that's because you keep fucking your cousins? Because one of the canonical
Maybe
things,
Sirius Black was right.
one of the canonical things in the JKR Harry Potter verse is that new wizards, most of the wizards now in the Harry Potter verse are Muggleborns. And the Muggleborns aren't
I would say,
fucking
which, by
your
the way,
cousins.
doesn't indicate that wizards are ever going to die out. Just that they're
No.
super
It just
fantastical.
indicates that fucking your cousin is
A bad idea.
not something you should do. It seems that doing so is bad and causes mutations like the inability to use magic.
Wow, it turns out Sirius Black was right again.
You see, he actually got so magical that he couldn't feel his own magic anymore. Kinda like,
I mean, that's kind
Okay,
of
Sosuke Aizen.
see,
That's
you
a
say
pretty
that.
common-
See, you say that, Atin, but in reality, that's the plot line of half of the Harry Potter fics on this website, and it's not
Well, I mean,
Harry
to be
Potter
fair-
becomes a squib from it. It's Harry Potter ascends to godhood and gets a harem.
I mean,
I
that's
know.
that's a pretty common. Yeah, that's a pretty common thing to have sometimes. Because it's just like whenever someone sees that, I just always think of like, oh, like superhero. It's like, oh, if two superheroes have a kid, then their kid might not have superpowers or whatever the fuck.
Well, I mean, it really depends on the universe. Like, a kid of Iron Man's isn't going to have superpowers. A kid of Batman's isn't going to have superpowers.
Well, the whole idea was it was just like I'm trying to remember what it was.
The kid of the Flash won't have superpowers.
Well, the Flash had superpowers.
Yeah, but they aren't genetic.
True, they're the Speed Force or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Like, there's a fair amount of heroes in DC and Marvel whose superpowers are not genetic. They're chemically induced, they're radiation induced, they're magic induced, they're different species. Like, only the X-Men really have genetical
I mean-
superpowers? But even then, that's
I mean,
like...
I guess, no, actually, no. I'd say Captain America technically has genetic superpowers because
No,
it's all from
no.
his genes. No, it's from his genes.
No,
No, it's
No.
not.
Really?
no, he's a
Nope.
roided out super soldier.
He had his musculature enhanced by a cocktail of normal steroids, and Vitarays. Now, what are
Whatever-
Vitarays, you might ask?
We don't
Magic.
fucking.
Vitarays are magic speak. Are
And
I
Wavium.
forget, when did Captain America first come out? 60s?
Yeah.
50s? 50s magic
40s.
speak. For he's now super strong. Shut the fuck up, kids. Give me a nickel.
Yeah.
I feel like the idea was literally they are rays that shoot vitality into you.
Yes.
That's it.
I
What is
mean-
vitality? Well, vitality is defined as this. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like I said, it was just it was
Wait.
he can do the thing now.
Wait, Nosehair, have you been under the impression this entire time that he's just genetically stronger than the average man?
No, I figured that his...
Nose hair was just under the impression the entire time
No, I
that
thought
Captain
it was...
America was just an Aryan super soldier.
I thought that was kind of the point of it, though. Like, the Aryan super soldier is beating up the guy who thinks Aryans are all superior.
No.
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 Granted, he is a super soldier.
Granted,
But-
that is funny.
And in
But
fact,
no.
it makes it more ironic because he's a weak little stick
Yeah.
for the steroids.
Anyway, so don't worry, my fellow Americans. Fudge says, I have taken measures.
Fellow Americans.
Yep. I have taken measures. I have contacted healers, historians, genealogists, and alchemists, and I have opened up the vaults, everyone's vaults. I, as the Minister of Magic, have accessed everyone's family funds to pay for this, and I will force all of our kids to fuck each other and produce children immediately.
Fuck off, Randy. Fucking Randy. Piece of shit.
Nose hair's just so angry about Borderlands 3.
Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I be angry about Borderlands 3?
I present to you my next executive action, the Legacy Preservation Act. Everyone mumbled and murmured and looked at him, and Dumbledore narrowed his eyes in suspicion. Minister, we've heard of this proposal before, and every time it's voted down. What makes your version better? Yeah, that's actually a fairly good question. Why is your version of I'm gonna force all your children to fuck each other better than every other version that's come out previously? My good people, I am aware of the previous versions of this bill. However, unlike other variations, my bill is pure. My bill is clean. There is no gain.
Getting a little close to the Nazis there, buddy.
There is no gain. Their only goal of this bill is propagation of our bloodline. The Legacy Preservation Act will require every last scion of those who fit into criteria.
Scion.
Scion to fit
God
in
damn it.
criteria to
Be
marry
careful.
Alright, well now this
suitable
is a Gundam
witch,
story.
to
Psychon.
procreate and expand bloodlines and help rebuild a population. There's no threat of disappearing forever. And how do you intend to do this? Dumbledore asked. What exactly are the criteria that deserve this act? Those whose families, whose lines are most in danger of disappearing, who only have one son, will be required to take part. We shall strive to cleanse the polluted bloodlines that plague our nation and make pure bloodlines within the next 10 generations.
No, not how that works.
Jesus Christ, author. See, like, earlier I was joking by talking about pure bloodlines, but literally the author. Someone needs to make a meme of this. Sneaky, tell joke about story. Author 10 minutes later. Is that?
I wonder who could be behind this post. It's Voldemort.
The nose tells you everything.
But he doesn't have a nose.
Exactly.
You have a nose,
Oh.
boy. You have a nose.
Big think. The big villain didn't have a nose. So who was he fighting? Just ponder that.
Do I have to?
No. Not required.
Okay, thank you.
If guidelines set out information you are received are followed, we can see a dramatic rise in our population. As these...
I literally thought you said Germanic rise.
Yes. Hey, Germanic. Actually, because they're basically forcing everyone to fuck to make lots of people so they can overwhelm the Muggles, it is very much a Germanic rise.
I thought you were just memeing, but I guess not.
No. I was memeing, and then the author was like, hey, that's a good idea.
Hey,
No, stop that.
that's pretty good.
I'm gonna steal that. We will require the sons of these families to have no less than 20 children each. A smattering of applause resounded throughout the room, and Fudge waved it away, being humble-like. It was then Dumbledore realized something else was at work here. Minister Fudge, you are only securing male bloodlines. What about female bloodlines? Madam,
Well,
Marchbanks.
it's not like they aren't going to go for the other pure breeds.
Madam Marchbanks, you are forgetting our laws already protect females. The second-born child in any union can be given the mantle of the wife's family and be treated as the first son of that family and carry on the name and line. Your own brother carries on the line of your mother, if I'm not mistaken. The lady gave a nod and resumed her seat.
The brother
Apparently
from
she
another
paused her
mother.
seat. Now she's resuming her seat.
I don't know what's going on.
Minister, we cannot simply force people to marry and produce children. It is barbaric.
I mean, listen, you can. It's not cool, and you should.
Okay, look.
But you can.
Look. Okay, so here's
It's
how it is.
technically
Right.
not illegal. It's technically not illegal.
You don't have to force them. It is going to be incredibly easy to force, quote unquote, teenage boys to have sex, barring the ones who are gay or socially inept to the point of lacking sexual attraction.
I would say, yeah, it's not like it'll be hard to go to a bunch of randy teenagers and say, you have a duty to this nation to bang.
You go up to the boy and you go, yo, boy. And the boy goes, what, old
Boy.
man? And you go, okay, boy, look, we're passing a law where a girl is required to marry you and have sex with you every single night until you meet a set amount of children. And the boy goes,
This is the only
okay,
thing men want, and
go
it's
on.
fucking disgusting.
I would say, sneaky, and then the boy goes, time to buy condoms. Then he lies to her and tells her it's a muggle enhancer.
I mean, supposedly some of them are. Ribbed for her.
I don't have a response for that. Like, legitimately, I don't have a response. There was a response, and it look at that. It flew away. There it goes. Just like your dignity. Whose dignity?
But not
was
your
that?
virginity.
Sneaky's or
That's
mine?
still intact.
No, I think everyone's in. Technically not.
What? Hold on.
Whoa,
Nose hair.
Whoa, no.
Your mother,
we're ending
your
that.
pillow,
We
and the
are-
Doritos bag do not count.
Oh no, I was gonna say
the
your
Doritos
virginity.
bag. Oh no, I forgot about that.
I was gonna say your virginity, but then I remembered.
Wait,
the Doritos
what did you forget? Wait, Sneaky, what do you mean you forgot about the Doritos bag?
Wait, was it not Nose Hair that had that Doritos bag next to him for like a whole year?
count. It wasn't the whole year. Okay.
I mean, he once fell asleep with it. Not in like a just like he was on his bed and he fell asleep with a bag of Doritos.
It was not a good time in my life. Okay.
Wasn't it the whole year? Look, it wasn't the whole year.
It was one day I like fell asleep and just fucking knocks on my door, opens it, and just goes, "Why the fuck are you sleeping with a bag of Doritos?" And I look down, I'm like, "Why am I sleeping with a bag of?"
Listen. It doesn't matter if it was one day.
Oh my god. Hey, did you sleep with a bag of Doritos for 356 days? No. It wasn't 356 days.
Fuck you all.
No. You
That was
slept
the
with a
worst
bag of
fucking
Doritos.
response you could have ever had.
I'm not
It wasn't the whole year. I mean, it was 1/356th of a year.
I mean, I'm not denying that I had a bad year. I think everyone had a.
Are you
No,
saying
look.
you fell asleep with the Doritos bag multiple times?
No.
Listen,
I think he's admitting it.
I fell asleep fine that whole year, and I never needed a bag of Doritos to help me, and I also had a bad year, man.
You see, actually what happened was that Nosehair would crush up Doritos into a powder, and then use another Dorito to line it into his nose.
I did not snort any Doritos. These are false accusations.
Look, I'll be honest, some of the times I saw you pouring that dust in, boy, I bet some of it went up your nose, so technically I bet you did.
These are false allegations.
Doritos.
I would like to see my lawyer.
Did you jewel some Mountain Dew as well?
Oh, God.
I will not be talking until I speak to my lawyer.
That's not a good response, man. That's the one you could flat out deny.
No, I'm just
he
not
can't
saying
deny it.
I can't deny I didn't mainline Doritos like cocaine. Nosehair 2019.
No, I can deny that. I can deny that.
Hold on, let's be clear. You probably went through a bag a week.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest here. That's way better than me. I ate like a bag in a single sitting.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of people in that fucking dorm ate a lot because we were right next to one of the best places to eat in the fucking city.
Oh my god, the Winooski fucking.
Oh my. Oh, it did? Oh!
Wait,
They
what?
had such good food!
Yeah, they closed. Yeah.
How did they close?
I'm sad now.
How did they
I've
close?
made
They
this
were in
up.
such a good spot.
No,
They were like, yo,
what
if we
happened is that they had mismanagement.
I'm sad now. You've made me sad.
Yeah.
How do you screw up your management so bad that when you are a grocery store located next to a college apartment building that sells hot food, you go out of business?
Hot food covered in maple syrup. Let's clear.
No, Sneaky, covered in maple syrup or alternately salt.
And breakfast burritos. Let's make it.
Oh
they
yeah,
had-
well I never got up early enough for the
yeah,
breakfast burritos.
but they had amazing breakfast burritos and like.
You act like
oh
anyone
my
was
God.
up. You act like anyone was
Anyone
up early
going
enough
to
to
8
actually have
o'clock.
the breakfast burritos in
No,
time.
yes. Anyone going to the 8 o'clock class lined up to get a breakfast burrito before the bus arrived.
So that's what that line was.
Yes.
I just went, haha, suckers, I'll get a better seat on the bus, because I'll be real, not a breakfast burrito guy.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
god,
can
they
feel
were
that.
so good though.
they really weren't. Like that was real. Like the burgers and the fucking fries and
Okay,
chicken.
no,
was
the
great.
burgers and fries were garbage. But the,
Excuse
I had
me.
to add so much fucking salt to those. I literally bought a salt shaker for the sole purpose of salting those damn fries.
Now, what was good was the raspberry-filled cookies. Those were cocaine. I swear to God, there was cocaine in those cookies. The ice
It's
cream
Vermont.
sandwiches.
I can't say that it was like a solid no, my dude.
Yeah, I know. The maple breakfast sandwich. That was a maple shiner or whatever it was called.
Okay, no,
That was
but
good.
it wasn't the meatball sub. It was like but it was like a hot sub sandwich. Like
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
because it wasn't a meatball sub. It was very distinctly not a meatball sub. It was just like, guys, what if we heated up some lunch meat and somehow made it melt in your mouth?
It was basically meatloaf, so.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah,
I'm hungry now.
I don't know how they failed. It baffles me how hard they must have mismanaged that property. But anyway, back to the story. KKD's still going strong though. So
KKD's was great.
KKD is like the reason why my blood pressure raised by 30.
You sure it wasn't anything else?
Yes. No, I'm fairly certain KKD is the sole cause of that.
The cause of what?
My blood pressure being raised by 30.
Yes. No, Sneaky, hold on. Let's be fair here. We need to blame your Dota, too.
Hey, my Dota has nothing to do with that.
No, the fact that you would get angry at it, I think he's trying to say.
No, I know what he's saying. I'm just saying.
I think it had a little to do with
my
it.
blood pressure rose above 30. I'm just saying 30 of it was solely from KKDs.
That's fair.
Anyway. Let us continue. The Chief Warlock's right. You can't just force people to fuck each other. Everyone started
Oh,
shouting.
but I can, Yugi boy.
Minister, you are overstepping your bounds. You can't just executive order marry all the boys. Chief Warlock.
Watch me!
Trump. This is Trump's new election strategy. Executive order. Every weeb gets a waifu. Japan, make it happen.
Hey, he could just spend some of the defense budget on those digital wives.
I was gonna say on the genetic cat girl research, but yeah, that works too.
No, I was gonna say, have you seen it? It's like in a tank.
Yeah, the waifu in a tank. I've seen it.
It's a beautiful thing.
Isn't that just girls in Panzer?
Yes.
No, it's better than that because it's not a creepy lolly.
I mean, they are all lollies.
Not
lolly,
all of them,
lolly,
anyway.
lolly, get your lolly here.
Nope.
FBI's a coming.
You stop that.
Chief Warlock, if I may, it was Pius Thickneck. He was a very respected man, and he looked very old and sick. In Dumbledore's mind, this man was dangerous. Have any of us watched My Hero Academia? Yeah.
Yes.
Many of us have.
Yes. I believe
Where
all
are
of
you
us
going?
have.
Where are you going with this, sir?
Ladies and gentlemen of the court and jury, I am a pureblood, and the last of the thick line. I have no heir, and when I die, my family line dies with me. Some of you may ask yourself why I didn't marry someone if this worried me. Perhaps I was too busy working for the betterment of our society. Perhaps I should have been looking for a wife. But here I was, listening to the Minister of Magic say he'll find a wife for me so I can fuck my kids into existence. As all kids are. Except nose hair. He was an accident. His father slipped.
Why you gotta pick on me like that?
If I had to make an offhanded guess, probably because it's easy to.
I haven't, and I'm not gonna. The MHA fan base is a dumpster fire, and I'm not touching that shit. Yeah, the fan base is pretty gross.
I mean, you can just ignore fan bases. It's not that hard.
Oh, you got Endo into it? Oh, God. Yes, it is actually really easy to ignore fan bases. All you gotta do is not go outside of the people you normally talk to.
And don't go to
easy.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Tumblr's nearly dead, so that doesn't work anymore.
Eat shit, Tumblr. We get the last laugh. We're still here, Tumblr.
Who's we?
So happy about it.
B. Just remember, we are the people that our parents warned us about.
No, Sneaky, the phrase is be the people that your parents warned you about.
I like that. I'm taking it.
course you are.
And I can wholeheartedly say, Sneaky is definitely one of those people.
Yes, definitely.
Ah, Jesus Christ, you're on air.
I know. That's why I did it.
You act like that's gonna change his behavior.
I'm having
It
trouble deciding
should.
which Lovecraft original character gets introduced during the slime villain attack.
The Lovecraft's original character. I'm not sure how to take that.
I'm not sure to take that either. So I'm just going to ignore it and answer Buccaneer's question. You can check the Discord by clicking the big old Discord icon in the panels down below. And that'll just take you right to our Discord, where one of our mods will be on standby to let you in. Hello, Buckwheat. Welcome to the server. Nope. I don't accept live calls, but I do appreciate you you being here.
I would say, give it a bit, we'll see.
Yeah. There's a cash or visitation requirement. You have met neither of those. Or alternatively, you can actually have fan fiction that you have written personally yourself. And if it's large enough and big enough, I will take you on and we'll talk about it.
By which we mean, we'll shred you mercilessly like we're shredding the rest of these idiots.
To be fair, we do it as a supportive thing, not a
I know, I'm
tear
just
down.
saying, look, listen, just because someone gives us money doesn't mean we won't tell them their shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes. I tell Potato he's shit all the time. He still supports
we
me
might
on Patreon.
We might just do it a little nicer.
Yes, exactly. But I mean, now showing hell, man, we got fucking mothballs on. The #1 Ruby Naruto story writer. We have him on. That was good. That was fun. We had Lupine Horror, probably the #1 Harry Potter Fate Stay Night crossover writer on. I think he's the largest story. Want to see the snippets? Sure, man.
I'll be
You
right
can link
back.
us your snippets. Just remember, there is no links allowed in the Twitch
Gotta
chat.
do it through the Discord.
Yeah, I gotta do it on the Discord because Twitch is unsecured, as you could say. Haven't started the fanfic, but it is short.
Nose hair just jumped over to that guy's call, apparently.
Okay.
Not sure why.
Not sure why either, but he can do that. That's cool for him. Haven't started the fanfic. Doesn't go past Twitch. Oh. Wow. I mean, go for it then, man. That's a snippet, all right. Oh.
What have we got?
He's gonna post apparently his snippet from his Lovecraft My Hero Academia cross or something.
Oh no.
And it doesn't go past the single Twitch word limit. So that's a snippet. The man in red. Oh, that's no. Don't do that. The man in red danced in his cell. Okay. Hey, stop with that thing, will ya? The brave inmate spoke up, with the rest staying quiet and staring. Stop! The red screamed with his arms outstretched, bending backwards and jumping. So he did a backflip. Art is about the beat that never stops. Okay. He then stands up straight, bends forward, and points to the inmate who asked. The blood pumping, red robes sway to the right, the dance that never yields, a jump and a land on his thigh. How exactly do you land on your thighs? Sure.
It mostly involves a really epic jump slide.
Well, the problem is that the thighs is a very specific location. And to land on them first means that nothing else is hitting the ground before the thighs. Which, while technically possible, you would have to land on your thighs from the front, and you would have to basically have your feet right next to your head for that to occur. Which I'm not saying it couldn't, or that this character couldn't do it. I'm just saying that's a very specific and awkward location to land on after jumping into the air. The
I'm not
pump
saying
never
you're wrong,
ceases.
mind you.
Yes, as the Charger from Left 4 Dead taught us, the pump indeed never ceases. Because that's the fail that masturbates all day. Max knew where I was going with that.
I'm disappointed in you. That is such an old callback at this point.
I don't care.
What is that? 6, 7 years now?
Oh shit, Left for Speed? No, dude. Left for Speed is like 2010?
See, first Left for Speed is 2009. Okay.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that was a decade ago. Oh. Oh.
No.
Oh, boy.
Uh,
Ooh.
January 30th of 2009. It's a decade and a half. It's 10 and a half years old.
Oh, my God.
You're fucking old.
I like how Max is like, that was like 4 years ago, right?
Nope. Max was wrong.
How do I put this gently?
The
You're
first
fucking
Pokemon
old.
movie, that came out like 5 years ago, right? Definitely not 2001. Oh god, no, 2000. 2001 was Pokemon 2001. Oh fuck. Oh god, I feel
Don't let it set in.
I need to drink more. Forget my problems.
You should probably do that. I'm gonna take a drink myself.
Everyone is simultaneously realizing how old they are and is now using that age to fix it.
No, I just had a very surreal experience. That's all. And I'm not gonna talk about
I
it.
popped in on that for like 30 seconds. Just like, oh, it's that kind of stream.
I mean, you're gonna have to talk to me about it later, because God knows you can't cope by your own damn self.
Anyway, so Doug James, I'm gonna say, your snippet is something. It could use work. Obviously, the Twitch message system does not allow for proper spacing, so I'm just going to assume that you properly spaced it in your snippet. But otherwise, it is a thing, and you should definitely continue it to increase your writing experience.
We say, we've read a hell of a lot worse.
Very, very much worse than that.
Anyway, so then, let us continue. So anyway, so the author proceeds the rips and speeches from real life the speeches. We must stop ourselves from fading into the good night. Thunderous applause. Dumbledore was shocked by how much this bill had. Blah blah. 14 years. We're feeling the effects. How many have lost a family? Wizengamot, we must all go and review this bill now. Wow, that's more than our government even does. Blah blah. See you chose wisely. Let's get this bill going. Dumbledore is trying to sow seeds of discontent. The chief warlock has no heir. The state of my family is not the problem here. What proof do you have of what your claim is true? Well, let us consider what happened previously. You wish to see logic where it may not exist. Surely you say something, blah 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 blah, words in philosophy, 101 armchair, blah 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 blah. Okay, so look, again, you're trying to use logic. Literally magic. You are literally a magical government of magical people in a magic land. And your terrorist uses dark magic that you've outlawed because of how evil it is. And
he raised the dead.
Your war veteran is going, oh, the guy did evil magic and now he's back. And everyone's going, oh, that's dumb. No one can do evil magic.
Except someone literally just did.
That face when I was too busy debating economics with Dwarf, pay attention for the stream. Wow, you really missed like some of the best parts of this stream, Arn. Have a good night. Harry Potter witnessed the Dark Lord. Wow, we're supposed to listen to a child? I mean, that's actually a fair point.
To be fair, this is also the child that has literally thwarted him on how many occasions now?
Yeah, but no one cares because Harry Potter killed them each time. Blah 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 blah. 14-year-old boy. Blah blah. I mean, literally, this is something I never understood about J.K. Rowling's canon with Albus Dumbledore, where Dumbledore's just like, I can't let anyone know that Voldemort has objects that allow him to resurrect himself, because then people would all try to make these objects. Because,
I mean, if you had
like,
the ability...
Literally, I don't want to get political, but quite literally, Albus Dumbledore has the views of the current Democrats. It's just like, oh man, I can't let people know about guns because then everyone will just get a gun and shoot each other. It's like, normal people just don't do that. If you tell normal people by cold-bloodedly murdering someone and planning out their death, you can possibly achieve immortality by breaking your soul in half.
I'm sorry, not even like... Well, I guess Voldemort was an exception.
Well, Voldemort's most certainly an exception. He's a mass-murdering terrorist. Of course he's an exception to the rule of normal people.
Psychopath.
Well, my point is he had like 8 fucking Horcruxes instead of the usual 2.
Yes. And usual 1, but yes. He killed lots of people in cold blood because he was like, well, if I just keep splitting my soul, clearly that means I have a better chance of living. And while you can have lots of creative freedom with that, Rowling never did anything with it, and so we just shrug our shoulders in terms of canon. But that's not the point.
I mean, that's kind of just J.K. Rowling.
That's not the point, though. The point here is that J.K. Rowling had Albus Dumbledore, a war veteran and a general of a militia force that fought in World War II, had him believe that if people knew that cold-bloodedly murdering someone and planning their deaths out in excruciating detail would allow them to split their soul in half to possibly achieve immortality with no guarantee, because you can't figure out if it worked or not until you died.
Well, now I want to see a Frank Rock wizard.
But anyway, so all of that, Albus Dumbledore, the headmaster of Magical Harvard, the Speaker of the House, and the Prime Minister for political representation on the international stage, believes that normal people would just, at the drop of a hat, murder someone to gain immortality at the cost of possibly dying, possibly splitting their soul in half, and it possibly not working. Sure. Okay. Whatever, J.K. Rowling. Anyway, though, if he had gone to the public and said, yo, look, there is this super dark ritual that requires, human sacrifices to gain immortality, and Voldemort did it, and that's why he's back now. Hey, do you have proof of this? Well, no, but here's this book detailing it in excruciating detail. Oh, wait, I burned all the books with those details. Oh, shit, I guess I'm the Nazi.
Silly me! My phoenix was flying around one day and it just landed right on him. Darn shame.
Literally, though, like, he canonically destroyed all information about Horcruxes. Like, he literally book burned. He tried to wipe that knowledge from existence, and then when people went, how do you know Voldemort's back? Too bad he destroyed all of the evidence. But, that's not ranting about canon HP. Let's get ranting about this HP.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so blah, 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 blah. The author's trying to be, really, foreshadowing, and he's trying to be like, oh man, the government is shady, and they all have their own plans, and this is the Game of Thrones now, boys. Basically. And Dumbledore realized he needed to rally people against this bill to protect Harry from having a girlfriend.
I mean, look, here's the thing, right? If he went and said, the Death Eater... Here's the thing, right? You could come up with a fairly logical reason for him to oppose this, which would just be, if I'm not careful, the Death Eaters will use this as an opportunity to put a very young Death Eater in Harry's bedroom.
I mean, yes, but he still needs to articulate that to people.
I know, but I'm saying they could have Dumbledore
series
think that.
Dumbledore not articulating
you're
enough.
You're saying the author could have Dumbledore actually be anything more than a plot device whose sole purpose is to set up why Harry is forced to fuck multiple girls.
Yes. Because it turns out, guys, a little bit of fucking effort really goes quite a long way.
Yeah, I don't see it. Yeah, I'm not saying it. No. Effort. Who has time for that? Exactly, Birdie. Speaking of effort, Birdie, how do you like my drawing? This is my artistic rendition of how the author has described the setting.
I would say, Birdie, you're gonna, if you don't step up your game, you're gonna get some competition for Sneaky for best artist in the channel.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be really.
What we're saying is you should draw more.
Yeah. Anyway, back to this crap story, and then we can call it a night. Anyway, so blah blah blah. We're scheming and plotting, and blah blah blah. How long until we can force boys the fuck? Blah blah. We've worked up the breakdowns for reimbursement. Blah blah blah. Families offer the daughters 100,000 gallons of fudge. Spit out his brandy, and Umbridge had to leap backwards in a fit of athletic and not ineptitude, aptitude.
There you
Because-
go.
Hold on. You were talking about Umbridge being athletic, and that just does not work in my brain.
Yeah, Umbridge is actually secretly a silver medalist in gymnastics. 100,000, Fudge shouted. Oh, yes, sir. You see, we've actually secretly plotted a bunch of red tape, making it physically impossible for a witch to actually collect anything of this sort. You see, for her line must be absolutely pure in its genetics. It has to be the purest of pure blood to ever pure blood. And her genes must be impeccable. Her genes must be so pure that they wear suits. And she must be
No, Sneaky, it
extremely
should be
strong,
their genes
magically
need to be
speaking.
so pure that they wear white dresses.
With
Suits,
white hoods.
Suits. Yeah. No. Not that. Never
Oh.
that.
You sure about that?
Nothing short.
I'm certain that
of-
I'm not going to give Sneaky an easy KKK joke.
Anyway,
Unless
so
it,
basically,
unless it's
Hmm.
KK Slider from Animal Crossing.
anyway, so as we
Please
continue,
remove these mind images immediately.
KKK Slider.
Do you have a problem with KK Slider?
No.
He's a nice NPC.
He said it's what Sneaky just said. KKK Slider.
No. You said remove these mind images before he said that.
No, because I was thinking about it, and then Sneaky said it out loud.
Yeah.
You had limited precognizance. He's a mutant.
Yes.
Purge him.
I mean, he's played enough Dota games with me to know what I'm about to do usually.
I mean, that's fair.
Unfortunately.
Depressing, but fair.
Anyway, so basically, what the author is doing right now, I'm not gonna bother, telling you about all the very foreshadowy dialogue they're setting up. Basically, the premise of this entire dialogue theme is that the author's setting up that the character Harry is going to end up with is going to be super magically strong, and she's going to be amazing and fantastic, and she's going to be mind-blowingly powerful and witty and smart, intelligent, and funny, and just like the best person ever to have ever existed, even better than Jesus. And then they're going to totally one-up Umbridge by collecting the money, and they're gonna bankrupt the government doing it because of how amazing and smart and intelligent Daphne Greengrass is, and because she loves Harry so much. And they're plotting against Harry, and of course it's going to amusingly backfire on them. And at the right moment, of course, Harry is gonna pull something out of his ass, and a baby is going to appear. And Daphne's gonna be like, "Oh, because I'm so amazing, I have a spell that can create children," or some stupid shit. Blah blah blah. Shady deals. Murmur.
Shady deals done for free?
We're the evil characters in this story. Murmur. Cyrus appeared, and he was gay for Ramus. And they're just sitting there drinking and staring at each other, and then Dumbledore shows up, and he's like, "Voldemort's alive, and Fudge is trying to cover it up by making young men have sex."
That doesn't make sense.
I'm not Dumbledore. I'm not sure how you're going from column A to column B.
I wish I was joking here, but this is literally the dialogue of this conversation. Dumbledore's is like, "Voldemort's back, and Fudge is trying to cover it up with his bill that'll make teenagers have sex with each other and have pregnancies."
When did Dumbledore become a fucking Puritan?
Well, I can understand Dumbledore being scared of pregnancies and commitment because he is gay and also betrayed his lover.
We don't like to talk about those.
God damn it, Sneaky.
And this is why we're not allowed to do nice things.
Oh, I wonder why we got hit with an algorithm. Me no have long-term ability to think about consequences. Fucking Muppet. You know what? Actually, no, I'm sorry. That's an insult to Fozzie Bear. I apologize.
Oh, God. Fuck you.
It's hard to take you seriously when you're laughing.
Fly to Chicago and punch you.
Hey, at least you'll finally leave Vermont.
Fuck you.
I've been trying to get you to do that for years.
Fucking, I'll send
Don't-
some gangers to drive by.
Don't worry, it's cold here now.
Yeah. Fuck, it's hot as shit. Blah blah blah. 50 years ago, there was a bill proposed by Nazi Hitler, and now the minister is trying to force it through. And he's trying to, everyone, I want you to prepare yourselves. He's trying to make teenagers have sex. He can't do that, someone shouted. What is he trying to do? What are you talking about? Everyone waited to hear what Dumbledore had to say next. It is called the Legacy Preservation Act. It will force young men to meet virile young women, and it will make them have sex. I don't know why the author is portraying this as like some great travesty.
Probably because they don't want to deal with that. I don't know.
Oh no! Teenagers will have sex, and it'll be state sanctioned. Surely a Puritan's worst nightmare.
I mean, I would say leave the Puritans out of this, but you're pretty much right, so.
Exactly. Everyone...
I'm gonna guess that Isley slept too late.
Yeah, probably.
Isley, quit working the glory hole in the Amazon
and
warehouse.
everyone was furious that Harry would be forced to have sex. And Dumbledore struggled to calm the room down after this bombshell. It's highly likely that pureblood families will support this bill because they want their teenagers to have sex.
You don't say.
But I have an idea. We can stop this bill, and everyone was very interested in it. You see, the proposed bill will affect all males who are still able to procreate. So my solution is we turn Harry trans.
And we're done.
I'm sorry, what?
And we're done.
No, I'm
No.
just kidding about that one.
Okay, thank God.
We
We were about to have some problems on stream later.
For a second, I thought they were going to go to some weird femboy thing or.
Please, no.
Draco times Harry. Harry, I have just realized I'm actually a female Vila who is desperately seeking you, and my soul bond to you is activated.
Where's that pistol?
Desist.
Just grab.
We
My
don't know
pistol?
how the
Put it in
selections
my
will be
mouth.
made, or who else is considered at this time. So, We will meet here in 1 week once we figure out what the Ministry is actually doing. Cyrus, come here, please. Cyrus, if this bill passes...
Yeah, Nexus, you're being too logical.
Cyrus,
of course,
if
they
this
could just
bill
cast some...
passes-
Also, by the way, that's one of the other things you can't convince me. Like, some male wizard absolutely came up with a magic spell to just be like, no kids!
Yeah, of course that he did it. You know what it's called?
Do not!
Do not.
Venus Deletus!
Yeah, and then there was one who went, surely there's an easier way to stop this.
What's a good rhyme?
And he did the magical equivalent of microwaving his balls.
I don't wanna...
Spermicus? Spermicus!
Sneaky, I would say Spermicus Heaticus.
No. No, it doesn't rhyme. You can't
You're
just
right.
add a cuss to the word and make it rhyme. Do magic condoms break? Only if you use a magic pointer.
Birdie, they only break if the guy wants them to.
Or the girl.
I would say it really depends on who cast it.
So you're sure this condomus realist spell is a thing? Oh yeah, I read all about it in the Muggle papers. Cyrus, if this bill passes, I'm going to kidnap Harry and bring him here to protect him from having sex. If by some miracle he is matched to a lady that is not associated with Death Eaters, he'll have to learn sex.
As opposed to...
I don't know. But I'm sure Dumbledore will be interested in teaching him. I believe Voldemort is behind this plot to make kids have sex.
Voldemort, Voldemort, Voldemort.
I found the source of the mysterious ticking noise. It's a pipe bomb! Yay!
Yay! That's such a dumb short, and I love every minute of it.
Even 10 years later, it's still great. $12 years? 12 years.
Just don't think about it.
Just don't think about it. As such, Harry will need to learn wizarding customs and etiquette and political maneuvering. I know you scoff at these things, but you must teach him, because you, too, are from an ancient house. Cyrus! You must teach him everything. You think he'll need to learn this stuff? I have no idea. But it may end up that the only way to stop the minister's plan of allowing children to have sex with each other is to let Harry have sex. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. How soon should I expect my godson? I cannot say until I know the vote tomorrow. Also, this is an amazingly fast political process. The prime minister proposes a bill on day 1, and day 2 they all vote on it.
Well, see, it's all controlled by the oligarchs. So it was already...
The nose knows.
Being one of the oligarchs.
I'm not an oligarch. If I was an oligarch, I wouldn't be on this fucking stream.
That's fair enough.
It's part of his cunning plan to convince us that he's actually dirt poor. He's the proletariat. One of the proletariat is posing as us.
Atin, This actually explains a lot, like how he can afford all of that one-armed yang porn.
I mean, how do you afford all your fucking...
Here's the problem. He's the only one here that you
all
can
that porn
reasonably...
that I buy, yeah.
I was say, here's the problem.
I can't actually think of something because he's not interested in anything.
I was gonna say, you could have picked Max, you could have picked me, you could have picked Isley, but
I mean, I can't, like, make fun of Max. Like, how am I supposed to make fun of Max?
I'm not saying you should. I'm saying you could have picked any
alright,
target
fine,
other
here's
than
one.
Sneaky.
How do you think Ann fucking gets all his money for his Mordred fucking cosplay?
Okay, well, hold on though. You're really gonna knock someone for liking Mordred?
Oh no,
I
he
know.
likes strong, independent murder hobos.
No, because he has good taste. But I'm just
How
saying.
is that a comeback then? You like lolly one-armed yang porn. Yeah?
not a comeback.
Well, you like an acceptable waifu that is pretty hot and intelligent.
And
I wasn't
has
making a
cool
comeback.
Iron Man armor.
I wasn't making a comeback. I was just saying, just because
Oh.
one person, like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not
Like,
gonna do that.
The burn!
The only I haven't seen a clapback this bad since
Well, you know
I'm not
why
good
he
at
claps
the
back?
last time you tried to do a clapback, really.
Yeah.
I'm not good at
You know why his clapback is so bad? He's currently cosplaying as a one-armed yang. Hey-o!
You should have seen this coming.
I should just, like, shut up whenever he says anything.
By the way, Isley, next time I ask you for people with commissions, send me people whose commissions are bloody open.
I mean,
If I'm
Birdie's
gonna
always
spend
open
money
that
on
shit.
this joke, I have to be able to do it in like 10 minutes before I can think about whether or not it's actually a good use of my money.
That's a good point.
Plus, I then also have to remember to blacklist that human being forever, because when I start
you
with
cannot talk to them ever again.
well, because Sneaky, here's the thing, right? When I start the commission request with, so this is about perpetrating a long-held joke on my buddy, they're gonna go, sure thing.
If that's how you have to phrase it, so you can feel guilt-free about asking for this, go ahead. Oh,
I'd like to point out that this all started because I had mentioned that I knew it was a thing, and they all think that's exactly what I go for.
You know it's a thing because you're always looking for it. That's the only logical explanation here.
Just because it's on, like, a fucking...
Just because it's on all the websites I constantly visit
Just because it's on, like,
doesn't
a
mean I
4chan
constantly
OP doesn't
look
mean
at
I
it.
wanted to look at it.
Look, just because I have 13 different favorited tabs of it.
Oh my god, I don't even... How is that
I
at
don't
all?
even have 13 is what he said.
I don't have any. I don't know how you guys fucking...
Yeah.
Of course, I forgot. You're a savvy internet user. You've got them hidden in a Word doc, 13 files deep in your computer.
I actually have a funny story about that. I did that to my
I mean, that's just kind of
TV
common
tech class.
That's kind of common things to do when you want to hide something. Just put it in a fucking...
So we're just gonna call this fix shit, and I'm gonna finish up with a story about my TV tech class and me fucking over an entire class, and then we're gonna go to bed. All right. All right. Good talk. So, you're way back in the days, around say a decade ago. No, like decade, maybe like half a decade. Anyway, so TV tech class. For anyone that's not aware of what TV tech means, basically recording footage, editing footage, broadcasting footage, that general menagerie of footage-related topics. And we had a computer bank that all 5 classes shared. And we were supposed to create a folder with our name and save all of our projects, all of our raw footage, every image and sound file we're using and making. We're supposed to save all of these loose files into this folder. And the computer that I was on, the people that also used that computer did not. I was the only person that saved all of my shit into a single folder, so I always A, knew where it was, and B, it never got disconnected. And Max can tell you all about the fun of reconnecting lost files to a unfinished project.
Which kind of system?
Final Cut.
Oh, video editing. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh no!
First time I ever lost video files was the first time I learned about
Organization?
it's either in task or task files. It's like,
Yeah.
oh hey, by the way, we saved this as a text document.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Why though?
Yeah.
You could just do that?
Yeah. So anyway, the desktop is a fucking mess. Like literally, I could not find any of the applications because again, this is a Mac, so it's not like the applications are all just somewhere. That if you want to get the application, you have to like dig through all the folders or use the desktop icon, which obviously I couldn't find because there was like 100 items on the desktop because all 5 classes just saved their shit directly to the desktop. All the raw audio, all the raw video, all the edited video, all the project files, all of it just onto the desktop. So I was bored one day in this class, and I decided that we were going to play Folder Adventure. And I made a choose-your-own-adventure story of 118 folders deep, where the wrong answer was a shortcut link back to the start.
Rude.
You are an asshole.
You're an asshole.
You are the reason mass murderers.
You're the reason why mass murderers target programmers.
And so, 3 classes later, there I am in class sleeping, and my teacher gets a phone call. They pick up the phone and they're like, hello? Uh-huh. Yes, he's in here. Sneaky, your TV tech teacher wants to talk to you.
Oh.
Oh, and that's all we have for tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
And it's all like, oh, I see. I take the phone. Sneaky, what the fuck did you do to the computer? I'm like, well, what do you mean, Mr. TV Tech? He's like, well, all of the projects are broken. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And your name is the only one that's not in a folder that even I can't figure out how to get to the bottom of. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Sneaky, yes. You're coming down here and fixing this. Oh, all right, Mr. TV Tech. So it took me 30 minutes to get down there and fix it.
Because you were smart.
But, you know what? You know what never happened again?
That.
They never put raw files on the desktop again. That's what never happened again. So, the lesson tonight, kids, is that sometimes being an asshole can make people get smart. And with that, we're going to close on up, and I'll say my goodbyes to you all. As a reminder, you should always go and bother other people to bring them to this stream so they can learn just as much as you do twice a week. From 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday and Friday. I will be here giving you life lessons and writing lessons. and occasionally making sense. But I will see you all next Tuesday, because there is always more, and it always gets worse.